So, um, I'm making this video because I want to express the difference in ideas relating to God and um, people's understanding of God. And there seems to be, the strongest people in my community, the strongest men in my community seem to, say that they don't believe in God because it seems that they are going off of their, you know, uh, I guess an idea of God that was handed to them and not searching for the true definition of God and what God is. It seems like, you know, it's like, just because, through religion we've been handed a certain idea of God and who God is, doesn't mean that you have to believe in the same concept of what God is. It's the truth that we were put here. So it is okay for you to search out the true meaning of God you know, and I do understand that a lot of people are doing that and searching out the true meaning of God, but that doesn't mean that you have to say that you don't believe in God. I mean, you can, because there is we're talking about the same thing. We're talking about the creation force. So, um, I mean, you might have a higher understanding of God, but that doesn't mean that you have to put yourself out there as saying that you don't believe in God, and then that's all that people see, and they're not able to get your truth. So I do think that it's important at this point in our story um, to say things like black woman is God and different things, just because of the things that we went through. I mean, yeah, we should all look at ourselves as God. If we're made in the image of God and we're God's creation, then we are God. We're God's mind. Everybody, I think, all together, everything, the entire everything, through all space and time, everything all together, down to people, to animals, to insects, grass, trees, you know, everything, the beauty of everything, the entire story, the story from beginning to end, that would be what God is, and, we're all a part of that. And so I think it is important to stress the idea that um, you, I mean, we don't even have a concept of, it's so much to fathom that it's not possible to even have a concept of God and what God is. So, I mean, people through their understanding are calling, if they can name it something, God, and I don't necessarily agree with using the term God because, it's a label, and God is above, the creation force, the almighty, all-powerful is above any name or any label, that could be placed in the material thing, and, it can't even be fathomed. Just like in the story of the Bible, where it says that, that then it's like in the beginning, it's like in Genesis, um, it says that then man began to call on the name of God. So it's like, man was created and wasn't really aware of the concept of creation or being created, or even it's just like you just find yourself somewhere and you just pick up and start doing things. And then at some point, man started to think about how man got there, and then there was this concept of God, but man with man's limited understanding cannot even, fathom that force. But the thing is, it says that some people started to become vain in their imaginations, so they started to think of God as, like an animal, or something that it could comprehend. And then people started saying God is like throwing around the concept of God as if it was something that was on earth, or something that they could actually observe and fathom to. And so that's what I comprehended from that part of the story. And so now we're here. And I mean, even after that, with the story of the tree of knowledge. And so it's like, okay, man is there, man is just there, not really comprehending anything except being there. And what do I have to do? Like, it's just kind of like because everything is so remarkable. It's like there's always something to do, so it's kind of like, what do I do? And so then there was the tree of knowledge of good and evil, and that's the part is that I'm trying to comprehend. But it's like, okay, you're just there. And then it says that God told man, you can do whatever you want, but just don't eat from this tree. Okay, so man is just there, and it's just like, all right, do whatever. And then all of a sudden, hey, let me have your attention. Don't eat from this tree. So it's like now the tree has man's attention. It's like, what's so special about this tree? Why can't I eat from this tree? Like nothing else except the tree. It's like, okay, this tree, God said don't do that, but I'm gonna do it. I mean, not necessarily yet. I'm not gonna do it, I guess is what man was thinking. Okay, but it's still, it's knowledge. Is like, I guess, it's sitting there wondering all the possibilities about why in the world, is this tree is supposed to be forbidden, and it said if you eat from the tree that you will die, but man didn't have a concept of death at that point. So it's like, death, what's this? Don't eat the tree or you'll die. Okay, got it. So then supposedly there was a woman who man needed to be a companion, because it was man's job to till the ground, or I don't even, actually not yet. So first came woman to help man with what, I don't know, because man wasn't tilling the ground yet, or just to be a companion maybe. I thought it was that woman was supposed to be a helpmeet or something. But so God took woman from man, and next thing you know, woman is telling man to do something that he's not supposed to be doing, that God told him not to do. So, and we have this concept of God restricting things from man, and then there is woman who is telling man to go against God. So, I mean, I don't know what that's about, but that could definitely shape people's understanding. So, it goes on to say that woman told man to eat from the tree, and man ate from the tree. The woman was coaxed by some sly character who knew who was supposed to be God's enemy, I guess. And woman listened to that voice, supposedly, and convinced man to eat from the tree because the sly force said that God was lying, and that woman should be jealous of God because it's saying that God told man to do something, and now there's a sly force speaking to the woman, telling her that that's not true what God said. God is jealous of you. That's it. That God knows that if you eat from the tree, you'll live forever, and God doesn't want you to be like Him. So the woman supposedly listened to the sly force that saying that, and told the man to eat it, and she can make him do whatever she wants. Somehow he must be under her hypnosis or something. And so he eats it, and then God punishes man for listening to woman when he said one thing. So it's showing that woman and God would be against each other, as if God was even on the same level, or could even be on the same level as a woman when we're talking about the creation force here. You know, when I think of God, I don't think of a person. I think of the spirit that created everything, this beautiful spirit that created, these beautiful trees and people, and how intricate we are, and how we have so many abilities, and like even up to now, how we have the ability to create things like computers and cars and different things, and it makes our lives easier, and it's like it's like culminating into a very beautiful story, and it's just, everything is just so beautiful, like the way the clouds are and how it's so appealing to man's eyes, and it's just, everything is just like a masterpiece, just like a masterpiece of artwork that can't even be described. And so this concept in the Bible is kind of saying that God could be even equated to a human, which it could not be. That's not what I fathom, and that's not what my studies have brought me to understand. And so it seems that this story is I don't know, but so it moves on to say that So God was mad at woman and man and the sly force or whatever. And so God punished man to till the ground and have to eat to live. By the sweat of your brow you'll eat bread. So that was man's punishment. I guess man didn't have to eat to live before. And woman was supposed to have pain in childbirth and to have her desire or all her thoughts be toward her man, but he doesn't really care about her. He rules over her. He just rules over her, but she just always thinks about him. I guess her desire is the man, and he'll rule over her. And then for the serpent, or the sly force, which was in the form of an animal serpent, it had to. I don't know what form it's supposed to be in before, but it had to lose its legs, or I guess eat dust, live slithering on the ground, eating dust, whatever. And so after which God supposedly put a cherubim, like an angel with a flaming sword, like a turning sword, and blocked the way of the tree of knowledge of good and evil, which man ate from, thereby giving man and woman knowledge of good and evil, whatever that means, knowing. I don't know, I mean that, knowing good and evil. And what harm would it do for a man to know, to have a concept of good and evil? I guess not just, thinking whatever, that everything's alright, but always questioning whether something is good or evil or not, and that is supposedly not the way that man should be thinking on whether, judging, thinking whether something is good or bad and just taking it as what it is what God gave you. It was meant to be inside of your world, I guess, and therefore by thinking good and evil, man could thereby create good and evil through his or her thoughts. Or his, I'm not sure how that works. But so I guess it would do good for man to stop thinking that things are either good or bad, and just go with the idea that, whatever you're experiencing was meant for you to experience, and you're just a vessel to be used by the entire creative force to go through life. So what God said was that the cherubim was to block the way of the tree of knowledge of. Oh, no. The cherubim was not blocking the way of the tree of good, knowledge of good and evil. The cherubim was blocking the way of knowledge, or the tree of life. And God said that if man were to eat from, or it says the cherubim with the flaming sword block the way of the tree of life, which man which man could eat and live forever if man were to get past or through the children of flame sword. Man would be able to eat from the tree of life and live forever. So, whatever it means to eat from the tree of life, um, could potentially just be unraveling the puzzle. I don't know. Maybe love. I don't know. But yeah, I'm definitely an advocate for love. Um, I agree that there's definitely been a wrong done, an injustice. I don't necessarily agree that um, that a person of European descent, or whatever you want to call it, I don't necessarily think that they are completely against us. Um, I mean, I don't know what the race issue is, and people supposed to be getting ahead, and I can definitely agree with being unified. I think that there's strength in numbers, and it's important to be unified. But as far as you know, I don't know. There's a place for warriors, I guess. And there's definitely room for us to think about ourselves, love ourselves, and definitely room for us to be like, fuck white people, because they did a whole bunch of stupid shit. They did a whole bunch of terrible shit, and people walking around like they don't even care. Maybe there's even black people who think that justice was done or something. I was talking to a family member the other day, and they were just like, well, we got 40 acres and a mule. So basically, they didn't know nothing, of course, but, I'm like, no, we actually did not. That actually didn't happen. There was nothing, nothing done, and anything that did happen, we had to fight like crazy for, and so it ain't like people showing compassion or nothing like that. People act like they want to show compassion now. I don't know, I don't know what people were hyped up off then and what's going on now, but my whole idea as far as that goes is to, it's kind of like resist the devil and he'll flee from you. It's like, don't even think twice about it. Like, if you sitting up there, thinking about the devil or whatever, then don't. Just think about yourself. Think about your life. Don't give power to nothing. Not even one drop of power. No, not a bit of power. Just think about yourself. That whole idea is, that's a whole nother conversation in itself, and relating to W.E.B. Du Bois and the double consciousness idea. Seeing yourself through someone else's eyes. That whole double consciousness. That's like a real issue that could be tackled. A specific issue that I think would do a lot of good if people could be healed from the double consciousness. But yeah, I'm just like, don't give any of that power. Think about yourself. Think about your people. If any of that, to me, that's probably fear, and I'm not. I don't agree with having fear at all. If you get to know the true God without anybody's ideas pervading your mind, and you just, focusing and thinking about, who God really is, because it's in you to know that. you know. And if you thinking about that outside of anybody else's ideas, um, and then that God is basically on your side and is, yeah, it's been stuff been done. I mean, there's been a lot going on. Our brothers and sisters were selling each other, and maybe we had to pay for that. Maybe we had to go through that. You know how you gotta go through crazy stuff just so you can how you gonna be strong if you don't go through nothing. So that's what we had to go through so we could be strong, so we could take this bitch over or whatever, do what we gotta do. But but um I mean, so that God, if you get to know the truth, what you can know. I mean, it's like starting from nothing with knowledge and then just studying the environments, seeing people and things and understanding that, that God is good and God has nothing but your best interest at heart, and that's it. Um, so so you do that, that God has nothing. Yeah, God has your best interest at heart. Then you like, all right. Um, I'm thinking about myself. I'm thinking about my people. I know God got my back, regardless of whatever I got to fight. I know whether, and if if your body becomes useless, ain't no way a spirit can die. That is like, come on, it's too strong, it's too powerful. It's just, it can't. But if your body becomes useless, then you just transition. You get another body, whatever. You still in God's hands. Um, you still under that same God, that same true God. You still in that, whether you're using this body or not. You gotta be able to see that there's more to this than just what's on the surface. But yeah, so we just think about ourselves, think about our people, don't give power to any of that, you know. Just continue to think about ourselves and resist, ignore, We're stronger than that. We don't have to let people get to us, and just think about ourselves, willing for ourselves. And I'm telling you, there ain't nothing that can stop us, because God's got us. I'm telling you, and when we start getting distracted and stuff, then, you know, then, then you trying to have problems. Maybe, I don't know. I mean, you just gotta live inside of your understanding, belief that God is good and that everything is good, and see the power of God work, And I say God, and, because that's just, I mean, I could stand to say something different. I've been recently starting to use the term God, just because I guess, it's just what people understand, but I mean, it's still, there's so many different meanings thrown around. You just know that nature is beautiful, and it has your back or whatever, you know, and let's build, let's seriously build and focus. Like, if somebody start getting distracted talking about something else, that's I mean, I ain't got nothing to do with that. You know what I'm saying? We just need to build forward, But but I was saying that um that as far as us getting what we deserve, us getting what our ancestors worked for, us reaping the benefits of what our ancestors worked for. I don't think that people are all bad or what. I was looking at Oprah the other day, and these supposed to be like hardcore racists and stuff, but you can see they just got misunderstand, they're not knowledgeable, they don't know the true history or whatever, but from my experience, what does work for them is court, like legal proceedings. I mean, if we are taking them and saying, making accusations and stuff, then they always coming at us making accusations like we gonna make some accusations, then we're on top, in the matter, and we say this is the things that have been done, and and I can explain it. I know, these brothers can break it down, they can break it down from top to bottom. We can break it down. You know, study, put a little presentation together. You know what I'm saying? Make it happen. Ain't no room for fear. God's got our backs, y'all. Let's just move forward. Build. Peace.